Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Valentine's Day inspired tutorial for this look. It's just kind of a blown out soft smoky eye. I didn't want to do anything too harsh, and then I did just glossy skin and glossy lips, but I'm using a ton of Colourpop in this tutorial because Colourpop just came out with their new pressed eyeshadows, which was huge, and I wanted to play with the mattes especially because we all love their formula for really super pigmented, like shimmery eyeshadows and glittery eyeshadows. Their Super Shocks are amazing, but I really wanted to test out the mattes. So that's what I did on the eyes. I also used some Colourpop on my face and on my lips. So if you'd like to see how I got this full look for Valentine's Day or really any other day, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So I went ahead and did my brows and my foundation off camera just to save a little bit of time, and now I am going to go in with the eyes because we are doing a little bit more of a smoky look. So I am priming my eyelids first with the concealer that I'm going to be using, then I am setting that concealer with a Morphe M504 super fluffy brush in this shade from Colourpop. This is in the shade Firefly. This is kind of a perfect vanilla shade for setting the lids. Using that same fluffy brush, I'm just going into another shade. This one's just a little bit deeper, and this one is a really great transition shade. This is called Wake Up Call, and now I'm going in with the shade Top Notch. I wanted to give some warmth to the crease before we go in with that dark lid shade, and this is perfect. I'm kind of obsessed with this, and I'm using a Morphe M513. It's still really fluffy. I didn't want to do anything too precise, and you can see I'm kind of bringing this down onto the lid as well because I just want it to be a nice smooth transition, and you don't want to have a very defined crease for this look. Now I'm just going back in with that big fluffy brush that we started out with and blending out any harsh lines before we go in with this lid shade. And the lid shade is called Cloud 9, and this is such a stunning color, you guys. It's like a really deep eggplant. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so beautiful and so pigmented. I was really surprised at how pigmented these eyeshadows were, and they all blended out like a dream. So I'm using a Morphe E14 just to pack that all over the lid, and then I'm going back in with that M513 that we used, and I didn't add any more product on there. I'm just blending that out so you can see I don't have a defined crease. It just kind of seamlessly goes from the dark lid shade up to the brow bone and has kind of a gradient effect. So I already tightlined because you guys know how I feel about tightlining on camera. It just creeps me out. And I am using the Man Eater liner from Tarte. So I tightlined, and then I am just smudging this along my upper lash line and going back in with a kind of buffer brush and blending that out. I want it to just look like my lash line is really nice and dark, and then it just blends into that lid color really seamlessly. Go ahead and add some mascara to those top lashes, and I am using a new pair of lashes in this tutorial, and I kind of fell in love with them. These are from Eylure and Vegas Nay. They're from the Luxe collection, and they're called Bronzed Beauty. They're super lightweight, but they're still nice and wispy and just soft looking, so I am officially a fan. And then I'm just moving on to the rest of the face. So I'm starting out with my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, of course, but I steered away from my Shape Tape because I feel like I use it in every single tutorial and I needed to use something else. So I am using my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. So, okay, I used this under my eyes and it was not bad. It actually had really good coverage and it didn't crease too bad underneath my eyes. But whenever I use this, like on the center of my face, on my nose and my chin, I feel like it just emphasized all of my pores and it just looked really bad. So under the eyes, yes, anywhere else, I don't think I'll be using this concealer, but I am just setting my under eyes now with the RCMA No Color Powder, and I also did it underneath my nose. And you guys, that sponge from Morphe is perfection for baking. And now I am just using a little bit of the new Becca powder to set the rest of my face. I adore this powder, you guys. It sets the face and it doesn't leave you looking like super flat, so I love that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and bronze my skin with this new bronzer from Colourpop, and I was worried about the color being a little bit too warm at first, but it ended up looking really, really nice. And I didn't want to go for anything too contoured for this look. I just wanted something a little bit more bronzy and soft. So I am just taking my favorite Morphe brush and bronzing my face with that. And then I am going ahead and dusting off my bake and blending out my nose contour. I did have to contour my nose, okay? When it came to the cheeks, I wanted them to be very nice and flushed, so I'm using the lighter side of this blush from Marc Jacobs. This is called Night Fever and Hot Stuff, and I am using my Morphe E4 brush, my favorite blush brush of all time, and I'm applying that pretty heavily to the apples of the cheeks, and it just gives you like this beautiful natural glow. And I'm taking this tiny little stipple brush. This is from their Copper collection, so it doesn't have a name, but I will link it below because I have been obsessed with using this. So I'm finishing up the eyes. I went ahead and did my waterline, and then I'm just buffing it out with that darkest shade called Cloud 9, and I'm taking that all the way from the outer corner to inner corner, and then I'm just going back in with the shade Wake Up Call and just kind of softening up that bottom lash line. So I added some mascara to my lower lashes, and now I'm going in and highlighting. This is my favorite highlighter from Colourpop. It is amazing. It is lunch money, and it just gives you the most gorgeous soft glow to your skin. It looks highlighted, but it doesn't look like fake. It just looks like your skin is so glowy. So I love using this. I am applying that basically all over my face. And then for the lips, I wanted to keep it nude, so I am using Nude Suede Shoes. This is one of my favorite nude lip liners. This one is from NYX. And then for my lip color, I'm using an Ultra Satin from Colourpop because that is my favorite formula, and I'm using my favorite shade too. This is one of their recent collabs, and this is called Jiffy. It is the perfect pinky nude, but I wanted just a little bit of gloss to go with the glossy skin, so I'm just adding a tiny bit of creme brulee right in the center of my lips just to give it a nice little sheen. So once you get that on, your look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!